Welcome back, friends, to another The City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnium video. Lids87 here, and I am bringing you guys another Are They Worth It video where I go over an upcoming banner, see if said units on said banner are worth your tickets and or gems. Before I get into it though, friends, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Alright, so on June 10th, UTC 10, we will be getting a mission dungeon. I cheese these with RCL and Galoof over on the JP side of the game. Just saying, for anyone that does have RCL and Galoof, but along with this mission dungeon, we will be getting Cyan and Fujin reworks with a Paladin Cecil costume. Speaking of Cyan and Fujin, both of them will be getting EX weapons. Now, these are brand new EX weapons, brand shiny, spanking new. They have never been featured in the game yet, and if they keep it the same, the banner should have Vanille's EX weapon on the banner also. So, I mean, if you are a collector, right, and you see two new shiny EX weapons, and for that reason alone you want to throw resources, hey, by all means, go for it. Let's talk about Cyan here for a moment. All right, guys, let's take a look at his pros and cons and see what he brings to the table, so to say. One of the very first things that Cyan does do is he gets guaranteed hits with his upgraded abilities. He can't miss. Curious if this works with while he's blinded. I never tested that out. Let me know down below in the comments, actually. Another great thing about his kit is that he can ignore defense outside of his non-upgraded abilities. So his upgraded abilities, his upgraded Brave and HP attack can ignore defense, which is just as it says, it's going to ignore defense. So you can go straight for the Brave and hopefully break the target, especially if they have massive amounts of Brave on them. Upgrading his abilities is free. No turn count, free ability use, and low action delay, which pretty much lets him go immediately. Now, the way his abilities work is his base skills are called Concentrate Fang, which is his first ability, and Concentrate Dragon. Now, both of these abilities upgrades both of his abilities, right? Both of his abilities upgrade both of his abilities. So if you use Concentrate Fang or Concentrate Dragon, you will get the same results, in that being Bushido Fang or Bushido Dragon. Now, the only difference is if you use Concentrate Fang, he will grant himself a speed up. If you use Concentrate Dragon, he will grant himself a max Brave up. I don't know about you guys, but I value that max Brave up over that speed up unless you have a max Brave buffer on the party. Now, with his upgraded Concentrate Fang, Bushido Fang, hopefully I'm not butchering that, he is now able to do splash damage, and he can now start removing 3 buffs from the target if he inflicts break or attacks a target inflicted with break. Now, him having the capabilities to ignore defense, he will be able to break the target a lot more easier than other units because he can go straight for the Brave and bypass all the defense on said enemy, so to say. With his upgraded Concentrate Dragon, Bushido Dragon, he can now start sustaining himself, his HP sustain, and Brave refund after he attacks. And if you happen to take his EX weapon all the way to EX plus 3 out of 3 with his EX ability, his upgraded EX ability, which he has to be at 80% of HP, he will remove 3 buffs from all enemies, and he will cleanse the party of all the debuffs. Now, talking about his EX ability, investment, he's an attacker. So usually with attackers, it is better to take them at 3 out of 3 just to get the most out of them. Because the main things to take away from his EX plus 3 out of 3 is that his EX ability damage, it's executed twice, just more Brave hit, more overflow, more potency. When his HP is over 80% of max HP, so minimum 80%, his EX ability turns into its upgraded ability, and this is where he is able to remove 3 buffs from all enemies and cleanse the party of all debuffs. Now, if you happen to take him all the way to EX plus 3 out of 3, he does have an A-type bonus sphere. When he breaks a target or is attacking a broken target, he will raise attack and max Brave overflow limit on Stolen Brave by 5% for 6 turns. So if you're noticing a unit that needs just a little bit more overflow just to give more HP damage or to deal out more HP damage, this A-type bonus sphere will suit that said unit. Of course, with every pros, there are cons. Now, Cyan, he is a selfish DPS attacker. He cleanses himself, he Brave refunds himself, he has some utility in the form of removing buffs from the enemy, and he can party cleanse at EX plus 3 out of 3. There is a condition to remove said buffs from enemy. He either has to break the enemy or attack an enemy inflicted with break, but again, him being able to ignore defense should be a little bit easier for him to do so. And if you did take him to EX plus 3 out of 3 with his upgraded EX ability, he must be at 80% of his HP at least in order for him to remove all the enemies buffs 3 of them and cleanse the party's debuffs. So if you're underneath that 80% HP, if you just take a massive HP attack, you got to get his HP back up before you are able to do that. And him being a selfish attacker, normally they need some other form of party buffer on them. So pair him up with some other attack buffer, the other form of brave healer, brave regen, more potent brave regen, so to say, just so you could take full advantage of him ignoring enemies' defense, and it'll make it just that much easier for him to break the target. Time to talk about the other unit on this banner, and that is Fujin. Let's take a look at Fujin's pros. Both of her abilities grant her Silent Wind buff, which grant the party Wind Enhance, party Brave Regen, and party Attack Up. Now, the party Wind Enhance is important because of her second ability, Psy, which inflicts wind resist down on the target. Now, if you guys have seen any of my previous videos or have been a part of my streams, I like to say that I value having some form of elemental impaler and enhancer on your roster, because especially if the imperil and enhance is in their base kit, not in their additional ability like Paladin Cecil or Onion Boy, which their enhance to the party is in the additional ability, but it's actually a part of their kit, kind of like Lulu, kind of like Fujin. And if there are stages that resist certain damage types like physical or magic, melee, ranged, you can bypass this by bringing yourself a elemental impaler and enhancer, opening up your team composition or roster to bring to said stage. Now, she does have a little bit more utility than Cyan. She is able to delay with her additional ability. She does have 2 uses though, so just don't spam this. And she has an interesting debuff with her base 0 out of 2 Razor Wind, not Razor Leaf. She ain't Bulbasaur, bro. And she can inflict this on all the enemies. Now, once the target inflicted with Razor Wind, when their turn ends, there will be a 3-hit Wind Brave attack, and it will also be easier to initiate a chase sequence on said enemy. But being able to follow up with damage after the enemy goes can come in handy. Fujin does have some noteworthy passives in the form of her C58 and C68. With her 58, she raises parties in Brave and Max Brave, while in Wind Stance with her Psy, her second ability. I couldn't find the potencies, but I'm guessing at least 10%. If I'm wrong, let me know down below in the comments. With her C68, she will raise the party's Max Brave and attack by 10%. EX Plus recommendations, at least, I mean, she's fine at 0 out of 3, EX Plus 0 out of 3, because once you realize her EX weapon, she is able to inflict wind resist down on all enemies, which lets you save a Psy ability use. That is great, in the fact that she just gets that upon realizing her EX weapon. That's very powerful. But if you can, EX Plus 3 out of 3, because she Brave Heals the party based on HP damage dealt, and she also initiates a chase sequence on hit on said target. And the best thing about this is her upgraded HP Attack Plus, which will raise allies Brave based on HP damage dealt. And I always value HP attacks that can do this, either towards the entire party or allies, because it's a way for you to dump out your Brave while providing Brave to the party. If you max her out, she has an E-type bonus Fear, and it has 2 conditions, which I don't like. The more conditions on something, the less I like it. So when HP is at max, and while said unit deals a critical hit, this will lower all target speed by 10% for 6 turns. Cons about Fujin. Honestly, there's really nothing wrong with her. I highly value units that imperil and enhance their own element, especially if they enhance the entire party with their base kit. But we do have other options on the horizon. Some of the ones that are literally on the horizon are Rydia and Garnet. So pick an option. You can either pick or choose. Rydia imperils and enhances water. Garnet enhances both water and thunder. So, I mean, honestly, out of the 3, I like them. But me personally, I would prefer Garnet over the 3 of them, because Garnet is on another great banner in the form of El Nacho. And Garnet is able to heal massively the party with her EX ability. So again, there's nothing wrong with Fujin, so it is really up to you. If you like Fujin, by all means. If you like Rydia, then pick up Rydia. If you like Garnet, then pick up Garnet. So there's really nothing wrong with Fujin, unless her element is absorbed. All right, friends, now it's that part of the video. Are they worth it? Are they worth your tickets and or gems? Tickets, I guess that's really up to you. If you value shiny new EX weapons, for sure, go for it. Gems, you can skip out on it, depending if you want Fujin or not, because in my eyes, she is the prize of this banner. Fujin, like I just mentioned, this is probably the third time I'm mentioning it, but just to really show the importance of how much I value units that can imperil and enhance the party with their element outside of their additional ability, like I mentioned earlier, Paladin Cecil and Onion Boy. She does hit harder with her rework, which is going to let her dish out her own damage. She has follow-up damage with Razor Winds, so you can control the enemy's brave, so to say, after they attack. And she has some utility in the form of delay with her additional ability. Cyan's value is that not many characters ignore defense in their base kit. He is able to remove debuffs 3 at a time, so can RCL and Vanille, just right next to him. And he can cleanse the party's debuffs if you invest 3 ingots into him. But I mean, Glenna and Afmo can pretty much dodge debuffs. So if you decide to go for Cyan, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. Being able to ignore defenses is powerful on its own. You will be able to break a lot of these chaos-like bosses, but we are in the later stage of chaos. We're almost near the tail end of the chaos era, so there are a lot of units that are just really strong out there. So if you do happen to favor Cyan, if you like him, then by all means go for him. And I didn't really talk about Vanille, but because she is Fujin and Cyan are the ones that are getting reworks. They're the ones who are getting EX weapons. They're the ones who are getting EX pluses. Vanille, we have had her before. She already has an EX plus, but if you do happen to pick her up, she has a very potent defense down debuff. She can remove enemies' buffs, pretty much all enemies' buffs, up to 6, which that's the limit at the moment, so that's already more than Cyan. And she still performs well, but we do have Arciala, who I consider is a better Vanille, because Arciala, her banner is still alive at the time of making this video. So if you're going into this in the form of like, oh, I need some form of Dispeller, and if you happen to have Arciala, you don't need Cyan, you don't need Vanille. The only main difference is Cyan is a melee type unit, while Vanille and Arciala is a magic type unit. And if you're looking at Cyan in the form of to cleanse the party's debuffs, I mean, we have Lennon for the debuff Evade. We have Afmo on the horizon, who can also help with that also. So again, friends, if you are looking for 2 shiny new EX weapons, by all means, throw tickets. Gem-wise, I don't see them being pity-worthy at all. I would say if you do happen to pick up Fujin on this, you won already, you're done. If you're looking for an elemental enhancer and imperialer, I can tell you right now, like just in the future, we do get a bunch of them. So if you're a fan of Fujin, if you're a fan of Cyan, go for it by all means. But the main prize on this, in my eyes, will be Fujin. But keep in mind, we do have Rydia and Garnet on the horizon. Alright, let's take a peek into the future for those that do like to plan things out to see if they can pick up said units on a different banner in the LD and Burst era. If you do decide that you want to skip on them now, I highly recommend that. So let's take a look. Cyan, he is not repeated, unfortunately. Does the JP audience not like Cyan? I don't know. They don't like the mustache. I don't know why. Unfortunately, I didn't find him, so he's not repeated. So if you're going to just grab him for collection purposes at the moment, just keep in mind, friends, that I could not find him on any other future banner at the moment. So it is possible that when he comes out again, it's possible he might get another rework, but we will have to wait until that is confirmed. Fujin, though, on the other hand, she is on 2 different banners. So she is on 9's banner, and she is on Furion's banner. 9's banner, he's pretty much another Warrior Light, so to say, but then Warrior Light does replace 9 again once Warrior Light gets his LD and Burst. So 9, that's really up to you guys. I prefer Warrior Light, that's just me. But Noctis's Burst weapon is on this banner, so if you're a fan of Type 0, then this is the banner for you to go on for Fujin. And again, she is repeated on Furion's banner, which is LD and Burst weapons do debut, and I highly value Furion as a minimum with his LD, because Furion is a great healer, great brave battery to the party. So if you want to wait out until Furion's event, ideally that is the best banner to pick up Fujin on, mainly because of Furion. That is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you guys for watching another Are They Worth It video. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments what your guys' plans are for this banner. Me personally, I don't want to throw anything at this banner. If I do, it might be like, I don't know, 10, 20 tickets. I mean, we have Keese on the horizon. Pity worthy for me. Rydia, I would rather value Rydia, and Charlotta, I would value that banner more. than this banner. Garnet and Eelnarsh, that's another banner I highly value over this one. So if I do decide to pull, it's not going to be a lot. Again, there are 2 new shiny EX weapons. The collector in me wants to grab them, but I'm not going to go broke either. So very minimal tickets if I do decide to go on this banner. Other than that, it's a skip. It's a skip in my eyes. So again, friends, be sure to let me know down below in the comments if Cyan or Fujin are your favorite, and how ham are you going to go, or will you be skipping this banner? Okay, friends, so until next time, good luck and have a good one.